There we go. Bam!
Hey, it did say, let's make sure that the recording stopped for a second.
Yeah, Chris maybe.
What was with that?
Chris will be doing that.
Are we still working?
Especially when you're going to move it around the whole city.
So he's
break it up.
watching this right now.
He's probably going to like go on the road.
Glass blowing.
Let's take a look.
So just to tell you guys a little bit about where we're going right now, this is a glass blowing competition that Marco is having here at the TY Expo, and it sounds like it's a pretty amazing thing. Let's go check this shit out. Let's go take a look.
Well, yeah. When people see torches kicking some massive flame,
Yeah, right here in the middle of an expo.
Yeah.
Not only that, but this is the first time that American artists have come up to Canada, so that's why.
So this really is breaking new ground. It's
Huge, and it's the first glass blowing event that we've had. Besides the Great Canadian Glass Gathering that happens every July in Burton, BC. Sorry. We have some amazing artists to take a look at. We have Kurt B, we have JOP, we have Brandon Martin, we have Paco, we have Chris Carlson here.
awesome.
Like this would be.
So unfortunately, even though the artists are okay with me being in there and talking and taking photos, I have been, as media, kicked out of the actual flame off. So
Why?
because they didn't want me in there, even though Kurt and everyone's okay with me being in there, someone came and told me. Some media lady who had like a clipboard and a pass or something.
Oh,
So, you know, when you have a clipboard, you know, it always seems a little more. Oh,
All right.
Mark's in there.
I'm going up to the front.
Oh, we're going in.
So in the team over there, we have Paco, Chris Carlson, and I'm not too sure, Marcel, I believe that could be the third one. I'm not too sure.
And then here in the center,
We have Chad G, Kurt B, and let's see, JOP. And on the third, we have Big J, Bertoni, and Brandon Martin.
see if anyone's saying anything in the chat.
Where are?
I have no problem with
All right. So we're trying to see if we can negotiate some closer access here. Well, let's just keep moving up, shall we? Jeremiah's getting some nice photos.
Oh yeah. We're gonna get our asses back in there. I don't care that I've been kicked out. We will get back in there.
What's going on? Right, okay. What about the media? Oh, the actual
So everything's just getting underway. I'm not too sure what these three teams are coming up with, but for the next couple days we'll surely be able to find out the progression of everything.
And it's still pretty early in the competition.
Is it a competition or is it just a demonstration?
What it's going to be is they're all teams. So it's 1, 2, 3.
Right.
They're all, each 3 artists, they're all going to make a collab together, and I'm not too sure how it gets judged from there, or if they're just going to be display pieces, but each 3 teams are all going to be making their own
And then there'll be some sort of winner. So it is a competition.
Yeah. This happens, they have a lot of these events in the United States. They have champs in Vegas. They have IGS in California. They have an event out in Atlantic City. They have a bunch of events out there. So this is the first time, not only are we having a Canadian flame off, but we have the United States artists coming up and doing it for us.
Nice. So, seems pretty groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Looks like a sexy lady body over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like that.
Badunk-a-dunk.
That is a very nice feminine figure.
That's a lot of work that JOP does. There's a lot of sexy, sleek female bodies. So I'm really interested on what will be going on with this table.
Yeah.
Because Kurt is all about the mustaches and the glass honey bear bees, and he's been doing some really, really nice Sherlocks that are in a very nice china white in an electroform.
Yeah, nice. These are really intense flames.
Oh, for sure. That's why if you're going to be anywhere close, you have to have the specific glasses.
Yeah.
Sunglasses will not work. They actually, 9 times out of 10, intensify instead of the actual glasses, which are almost like welder's glasses because of the flame. He's got a chair!
Quite impressed that this is going on at all. Oh, and there went the crack in the butt.
Oh. But I'm really intrigued to see what the 3 teams will be coming up with, and seeing as this is our first event, hopefully in the time to come we'll have many more events.
Nice. Let's see what people are saying in the chat there.
More exhaust fluid.
Yeah.
Here, you point, I read. Aw, thank you to Island Sweet Kosher.
Pretty awesome.
Last point competition.
I know, I can't wait to see what these guys come up with.
Yeah, I know.
I still have Pod TV.
Oh. Well, maybe we can.
What do you think, Maddie? Pretty impressive, eh?
Yep. I think we can find something to put that in.
Alright, I'm gonna take this upstairs to the balcony.
Good.
Upstairs?
All right,
If you guys want to keep doing this.
No.
That's where Matt
we'll
is, so I'm gonna join up with him and we're gonna do some dabs. You should come and do dabs and shit.
We'll end up coming back and covering more of the flame off once more of the
I'd come
teams
down to
and
get
more
some
of a
bacon.
progression.
Pardon?
We can go in right now, actually.
I don't
Because
come down to
do you guys want to go back here? He said once Mark was gone. He said once Mark was gone, we can go through.
And is Marco gone?
Where's Mark?
Mark just left, yeah.
Mark left. Okay, we should be able to go in. But where's that guy? I just want to inspire him.
Who, Kevin? Well, don't.
He said it's fine for us to go in.
Well, let's just get in the most appropriate way. Maybe walking around and going
through?
ducking through with a laptop. I just don't want to break shit.
Either way.
Or I went through that.
Which way?
I don't know if both of you guys can, but he said only a person with glasses can go. As long as you're not looking at the torches. Yeah.
I can do it. I've been around a lot of
you know
glass
all the people or
blowing.
whatever. Ask him some questions, Nelly. I can take you through this thing. You can come back there as long as you don't look at the things, he said.
What am I supposed to do? Sorry, I didn't understand.
The guy told us that
look
we're not
at
allowed to go back there because Nelly, you need the glasses.
Well, I'll get the glasses once I'm over there.
Okay. Where did Mark go?
Am I going with you? Or
Come.
The guy. See if you can both go.
Yeah.
As long as one of you doesn't look at the stuff.
Where's Kevin?
Don't worry about it.
Whatever.
That's alright.
Woo.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm online on Pod TV covering the flame off, but I will be right back.
Actually, I can't let you on weekend shit.
Can't.
Got shit with Mark. Yeah.
Again, even though
It's Mark. It's not me. I want to let you in.
even though I know all the artists and I'm friends with them and they want me to come and talk to them, they're not letting me in, even with glasses. This kind of sucks.
I'm trying to help.
I know this sweet gentleman, Kevin, he's trying to help. He's a glass blower as well. He helped me get in earlier and take some photos. But as of right now, they're not letting us cover it. So, like I said, we'll come back, you know, once more of the glass blowing's underway and more of the pieces are together. But we'll keep you posted. Back to Matt.
That was really shitty, but we're gonna work on that. Try to get you guys some better access. It's a good start. So that's shitty, but there's still some areas of the place that you guys haven't seen yet. So I'll take you to one of those right now. I'm gonna take them up to the balcony.
Okay, you're gonna be up at the balcony? I'm gonna go grab
I don't even see where Jer went. Pardon?
Some cool seeds, man.
I couldn't. Gonna head upstairs and show you guys what's going on. Oh, it smells so good. Just straight up before you even get outside. And it is busy up here. Busy, busy, busy. Hey guys. This is the open flame smoking lounge.
Smoke marijuana and joint fire. That's all right.
This is the real Expo. The oil table's down there. Alright, alright. There's a dab table. That's good to know.
Got some little point table for trade going by.
It's the beautiful Toronto city area. You guys can see all that. It's pretty awesome. Sky Dome, the train, the lake.
How's the flame off going?
The flame off's going well. We didn't get access into the flame zone.
Okay.
Something about needing glasses or something.
Oh, we're gonna have to go get some glasses for me.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Excellent. I want to get into the flame zone. Flamer.
Definitely.
There'll be a lot of flamer jokes.
There will be, I know.
Flame
But yeah.
off today.
Matt Murnaugh.
Trying to fill up time right now.
We're gonna go. We'll take a walk down the strip here.
50 people.
We got a lot of people watching.
Consistency the whole time. So don't forget to hit your Facebook and your Twitters and your Instagrams and your LinkedIns and pass this around like a joint at a party to make sure that we get lots of viewers because, you know.
Pass it just like this.
Yep. Trafficking.
Pass it around like a doobie at a Free Mark Emery rally.
On the left-hand side. Well.
Hey, Claire.
In the house. Paul Locker in the house.
Hey, Rob Walker. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, guys. Join the circle. Join the circle. Smoking the joint. Expo 2012. Expo's in the house.
That's it, baby. We're doing it right.
Well,
Focus Farms from BC representing here.
later today, the young liberals have shown up. Actually, end prohibition. The end prohibition team is throwing the gauntlet down. That's the New Democrats versus the young liberals who can smoke more weed, pack it, roll it, fire it up, hit bombs, smoke joints. Let's see who the last man standing is, and let's see, like Mitch Andro, Ahmed, our team is gonna kill them. We're all-star and
You know guys,
no guys are all in. It's the all-stars too, man. The all-stars down. Bring back the ringers.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, you get it.
So, the challenge, the gauntlet has been thrown down, Mr. Ray. You might want to get here and save your team.
he picked up that gauntlet. I think Justin true to history, he did for this one too. You guys are gonna need them, guaranteed. You're gonna get all the help you can get to run out and see if you can outpuff us.
Come on, young
It's
man.
going to be a puff off.
Puff off.
Let's take a look at the rest of the catwalk here. There's a lot of people up here.
Joint smoking area.
We can
Party passes.
lots of party passes. It's good to see. It's good to see.
Amy Anonymous. Where's your booty short? You seem too close.
Yeah, we're doing it.
They brought a goddamn dab table out here.
Yeah.
They have a dab table, but some dancing. You can see people break out. That's our area.
Did you smoke yet, Maddie?
I did. I'm ready for a run.
Alright. I'll follow you.
The whole time?
The whole time we're webcasting the whole thing. The whole thing. Non-stop. Yeah, you got to pay
What is chat saying? What? Oh, they won't let me in because I guess even though I have glasses, they don't want like people being that close to the artist or something like that. It's not my first time around a glass blower, the flame, or anything like that. But I'm gonna get in there. My mission, the weekend's only begun.
Yeah,
Got all weekend to get in there.
I have faith, but now we'll get in.
I'll show a little sleeve if I have to. As you can tell, it's fucking packed up here.
Lots of people smoking. I think tomorrow it'll be even worse. Lots of trains going by. It's a lot of noise. A lot of Vapor Central customers I see here. They're chilling around.
Shall we wander, Maddie?
Let's take off. Our viewers want action.
And we're leaving the a lot of people stay in the corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, we still have
A lot of people smoking. We open the door here, I guess. We're back in.
We're back.
Oh man, you can see the torches through there. You want to go this way?
John Council on the Supreme Court of Canada, President of Global Canada in 1978. John will be discussing the comparison of legalities between
What's up? Good timing, bro.
How you
go, bro? You good?
Area starting.
Okay. Oh, you should be live. Yeah.
We're on Pot TV Network.
Nice.
This way.
Hi, on TV, where you guys check me out? Okay, I got access to the glass blowing behind the scenes from one of my friends that helped set up the studio. So in a little bit, maybe I'll come get you guys. And we can go
Come
around
get
with
us.
the
We're gonna
camera.
watch John
Okay,
Conroy.
sweet, yeah.
John Conroy is at the stage from Vancouver. Get right down. That's John Conroy. And
Hot TV's back in the house here.
Yeah.
John Conroy up on stage. Top lawyer extraordinaire.
Yeah, can't disagree there, my guy. 100%. 100% with you.
He's got a long list of
We're live on the Pot TV Network, broadcasting live. Mark Emery's Pot TV.
I think I've been on Pot TV before,
That's cool.
many years ago.
We've got lots of viewers, and they're all saying hello, and we're glad you're here.
I'm happy to say hi to all the viewers of Pot TV and suggest they all come out to the TY Expo.
Thank you very much.
People know his name. His name's mentioned, they know. More times than that.
Yeah, Mr. Paul Lewin. I'm live on the Pot TV Network here.
we're gonna watch some of this speech from Conroy.
Yeah,
And that's the one.
we can.
You got content to sell. Nothing but time.
I'm gonna go back for a battery recharge soon.
Oh yeah, here we go.
We might have to go back and recharge soon. What are we waiting for?
recharge.
Yeah, it might be time for a recharge
Well, can we
soon.
get any of John here? We should try
Yeah,
to
if he's about to start, for
he's
sure.
gonna start right now. Pretty quick. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
No worries. Yeah, you have to call me one.
What's that?
You have to call me one.
Oh, yeah.
Ever notice that? Like, you talk more less. Yeah, because you call every time you call. Like, I'm like, oh man, the room must be in. Even though it's not,
In the office.
like, oh, good, but that's the first kid that comes up on the call. The room must be in. It's the first thought.
So these are odd hours. I always assume that call you before dinner.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
I never know. The phone rings, it's like, oh, I'm like, oh, really must be. It's like, how's it going? No. Ready? Why are you calling?
So I saw your email there. Did they go to chapters? You got that or?
No. Are we ready?
We're all here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just a point of clarification, I'm not counsel to the Supreme Court of Canada. I've been counsel in the Supreme Court of Canada a couple of times. Just to clarify that in terms of the announcement. When I came in, I came through the Vapor Lounge, and so I was concerned I was going to forget what I was going say, but I just want to assure you that I haven't forgotten what I want to tell you. I've been practicing law for 40 years and became involved in this issue in the mid-70s. And, sorry?
No, I'm just getting it away.
Okay.
Thank you.
And actually incorporated Normal Canada back in those early days and have remained as president throughout. The organization shifted here to Ontario for a period of time, and it's had its ups and downs, but put in a quick plug for them to visit them at the booth as one of the organizations trying to again unite everybody on this issue to try and make some changes. I acted for Randy Kane in the Supreme Court of Canada on the challenge to the marijuana laws, which ultimately the court in 2003 ruled that it's essentially a political question, that the government can prohibit something like marijuana. And recently I appeared for the Vancouver Area Network of Drug Users in the Supreme Court of Canada in the safe injection site case out of Vancouver, which involved what we call hard drug users trying to deal with that issue. And I know our focus here is cannabis, but the hard drug issue has to be dealt with in order to get people to understand that the whole problem is this approach of prohibition. I don't know how many of you know, or I'll spend a little bit of time just on the history, but it was in the early 1900s when the Chinese built the railroads in Canada and suffered many deaths and so on doing so, that we suddenly had a labor surplus in Canada. And Mackenzie King, who was then the Minister of Labor, he saw that there were claims for compensation by Chinese people after we had race riots in Vancouver, Victoria, and New Westminster because we had all the opium dens in those days. And so he made a special report to Parliament calling for the prohibition. Similar things were going on in the States and around San Francisco at the same time. And that led to our first Opium Narcotic Act, which covered all of the drugs except, of course, alcohol and tobacco. And arising out of that was the first enforcement of laws in relation to the hard drugs. Cannabis didn't get into the schedule to this act until 1923, so quite a while later, and not into the U.S. federal law until 1939, although many U.S. states had been, starting with Utah, and for similar labor surplus reasons and other connected to the Mormon Church involving Mexicans, because many of the Mormons had gone to Mexico and come back and were using cannabis. And so that spread across the country as alcohol prohibition was undone, and we have what has ultimately led to our current drug war. In Canada, of course, we had Emily Murphy, who was the first magistrate. She's one of the famous five in terms of the women's movement, and but unfortunately she believed in eugenics, and she wrote a book called The Black Candle, which was based mostly on information from U.S. law enforcement. It was serialized in Maclean's magazine under the heading of the byline of Janie Canuck, and that was the emotional information, like reefer madness and all of the other stuff that influenced our parents and older generations in terms of this attitude. So that's the emotional gut reaction that we've been faced with ever since, that we have to somehow try and appeal to logic and reason and rationality. After 40 years of trying to do that, I must say I've now learned a lot about the human brain and how gut reactive it is, and how difficult it is to get people to understand that logic and reason doesn't come naturally. You have to learn to do it and be willing to look into things and investigate and do that in order to try and use your head to come up with a solution. But given the way that most people get their information about this topic from the news media and in my criminal justice practice, crime and punishment generally, I think it's a hard road still ahead. Well, on the medical end of things, it's important to remember that it used to be that marijuana has been used for centuries, and it used to be on the U.S. Pharmacopoeia up until 1942. And Eli Lilly and Squibb and Grimaud and all these big pharmaceutical companies all marketed extracts of cannabis. It was a well-known medicinal cannabis use was well known in that period of time until things changed in terms of the whole plant medicine situation. Ultimately, in Canada, our laws evolved into something called the Narcotic Control Act when I started practicing. And under the Narcotic Control Act, there is this provision in one of the regulations that allows a practitioner, which includes primarily a doctor, but also a vet and others, to essentially furnish, prescribe, administer any narcotic to a patient for the illness that they're treating them for. And that regulation has been the original sort of basis for the doctors to be able to prescribe the drugs that are in the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act. And so it was my opinion many years ago that that provision would at least, if you had something from your doctor in writing that purported to come under that regulation, that should be sufficient to protect one from law enforcement in terms of possession. Don't forget the prohibition against possession is to possess except as authorized under the regulations. So if you have something from a doctor that's authorized under the regulations, that's one way to be lawfully in possession. Now, I'm just expressing an opinion. The New Brunswick courts disagree, and I think the issue is pending in the New Brunswick Court of Appeal at the moment. But that has been the basis for many of the people who joined compassion clubs in the early days. They'd get something from their doctors. And as long as you had something from your doctor, then certainly in Vancouver, they would not interfere, not enforce the law in terms of possession. So as you know, since those early days, we've had a whole range of cases and case law that have gone on. The Parker case, of course, is the major one that essentially forced the government to have to come up with the medical marijuana access regulations, that they couldn't make people choose between their liberty and their health. And so from Parker, there have been various refinements. Hitzig was another big case, and as you probably know, many challenges to the medical marijuana access regulations because they were more restrictive in many aspects than otherwise. And so you had Svetkopoulos, Alan Young, I believe, was counseled with others in the Federal Court of Appeal ultimately, when they said you could only grow, I think it was the three, I'm mixing that up in Barron, and I shouldn't because I was with Kirk Tusaw in Barron. But one of them was whether you could only grow for one patient, as the regs provided, it being too restrictive. And in the Barron and Swallow case, it was you could only have three in one place. Well, the government's response to the you can only grow for one was you can grow for two. And the government response to you can only have three in one place is, well, you can have four. And so as you can see, a cynical response inducing more cynicism in the government's willingness to really grapple with this issue and deal with it properly. We have Paul Lewin in the audience who recently argued the Murnaugh case, which was this whole problem. The central problem to the regulations is that the doctors are the gatekeepers. And I highly recommend you read that case if you want to get the detail in terms of not only how things have developed in this whole area, but also the pharmaceutical industry and how it works and the whole interconnection. It's a great piece of work and provides a huge amount of information, and I really encourage you to read it. Paul just argued the case in the Court of Appeal a few weeks back, and so they've reserved decision, and we'll wait and see what is the next thing that comes down. But a very important case. Another one recently in BC, Smith, which dealt with the whole issue of dried marijuana versus edibles and other forms. And the court there struck down the provisions of the regulations that limited it to dried marijuana. And there is this convention in Canada which upsets some, but it's there to stay, and that is when a court rules that something is unconstitutional, they will then suspend the declaration of unconstitutionality and give the government a period of time to try and turn the regulations or the statute, whatever's challenged, to conform to the law. In Paul's case, it was great to see the judge say, you've only got 3 months because you've had so many other times to try and fix it up. But when the Crown appeals, that delays it further. And so unfortunately we have all of these issues still working their way through the system in terms of this whole medical area. Now, to continue just on the medical area, you've got Health Canada now doing consultations saying that they're going to come up with new regulations by 2014 that will deal with licensed commercial producers. So the whole situation now of the person who's authorized to possess by Health Canada, the person who's authorized to grow for himself, or the person who's the designated grower for someone under the existing regulations, they say they're going to take away the designated grower and personal producer. I think they'll have a constitutional challenge on their hands in terms of certainly the personal producers. The designated growers are in a more delicate situation. And I'll just add a little thing that just has been occurring over the last while, including a call I just got yesterday. WorkSafe seems to be coming along and sticking its nose into grow sites, saying that they're work sites, and WorkSafe wants to inspect the sites. And so, again, the personal producer arguably is not at a work site, whereas the designated grower arguably is. So I just caution you that that's another prong that seems to be coming forward in this whole area. So the new plan by Health Canada, according to their website and the information that I received, is essentially you will go to a doctor and the doctor will have a form, the content of which is yet to be determined. And so it'll be between you and your doctor. And if your doctor approves you, you will then fill your prescription through a licensed commercial producer. And they're saying that the licensed commercial producer will have to courier this to you, or I think it's a bonded courier or through the mail, which suggests that they're thinking of fewer growers than, of course, they have now. Of course, one of the great things, and in all of these things, as these
Happy 420 Pod TV.
The changes the governments make,
Chris is at a thing.
they're always good and
It's just
sort
running out
of
of battery
bad
power.
parts
I
of it.
can't plug it in up there.
And this whole business of having to grow one for one or for two, or only having so many in one.
All right, so we will get more coverage of John. Our laptop battery is about to die, and there wasn't any viable place to plug in there. So we are moving. John Conroy, I believe is his name. He's giving a nice, good speech, but he's going to be speaking all weekend, and I promise you I'll get you guys more of him as soon as I can. It's our fearless leader, Chris Goodwin.
Hey, Pod TV, what's up? We're just talking about you.
Thinking about you guys all the time.
We were talking all about you.
Aaron Goodwin.
Hello, Pod TV.
It's so weird to say it. I called you Gorman the other day. So anyways, we're going to rest up here for a second. I'll get you guys plugged in so that we'll charge you and we can do a few more laps later.
I'm gonna pick you up, my baby. You gotta hold your baby every once in a
We're on
while.
the last bar.
Yes, the power is running out. And I was just talking to McMahon about some studio stuff. We're gonna end the recording now on this section and then start it again. But it's gonna stay live.
Mr. Goodwin.
Say hi, Jeremiah.
Hi, Jeremiah.
Say bye, Jeremiah.
Bye, Jeremiah. We're shutting